you find a lot of young people, maybe who come from less fortunate homes, go to work as house helps, with other individuals, maybe with people, with families, so that at the end of the day, they can either be sent to school or to other trainings. So our guest was one of these kids. She lost her parents very, very young. She struggled a lot. Her family sent her over to live with somebody, with the hopes of this person sending her to school later on, but that never happened. So today she's here to share her story with us. And like I said, I really apologize for the late start. Bertila has had a lot of trouble connecting. She's not even able to connect to the app that we're using. So we're going to be calling her on WhatsApp. So as you tune in, please share the video, share with at least 5 people. We're going to be talking about something really serious today, and it's something that has to stop. We really need to work on it. We really need to, go to these people who continue to do maltreat other people's children, promise and fail. Something needs to be done. So if it's the government that has to take care of that, if it's the social welfare office that has to take care of that, we really need to work together to make this stop. All right. So before getting to meet our guest, Bertila Kibong, let's take our what's trending on the net today, and we will be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for sharing. Share with at least 5 people. Our topic today is very crucial and very, very important. All right.
Give me money,
Queen.
give me money,
I'm
now wait till you drop a mommy, the make your backside go.
now wow.
Chase ya, beat it, para.
The love I've been heard from you, baby, is broken. Now, baby, why you do me so? I don't believe this life without you. You say that my love I've been heard from you, baby, is
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Spotlight with Gwendy. As you tune in, please share the video so we can have more people tuning in. Today, our guest is Bertila Kibong. She is a young Cameroonian. She was orphaned at a very, very young age, sent to live with somebody who was supposed to train her after 1 year of living with her and helping her as a house help. But after 1 year, that training did not take place. She never got sent to school, and so many things happened. Today, she is building her life back. She is a prominent actress who is coming up in the comedy world. She works with KOLA SUCRÉ. For those of you who come from Cameroon, you know who KOLA SUCRÉ is. So she works with that team, and she's also a photo model. She's getting herself together. She's taking her life back into her own hands, and she's here to advocate for other people like her who may or may have not been as lucky as her. Some people are still in the closet. Nobody's there to help them. Nobody's there to speak for them. And so today, Bertila Kibong is here to share her story. A painful, painful childhood, losing her parents young, having to go through pain, rejection, hunger, and so much more. And then being betrayed by somebody in whose hands she was entrusted, somebody who was supposed to be her employer, her madam, her mother, and who also agreed to send her to school later on, and this did not happen. And so because we've not been able to get to Bertila, she's not been able to get to use the app that we use to go live. I'm going to have to call her on WhatsApp, and she's going to be joining us on WhatsApp. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Spotlight with Gwendy. On this show, we talk to people, personalities, and professionals whose stories and experiences can inspire and empower. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow our page, subscribe, and turn on the notification, because every week we have amazing stories that can inspire you and empower you, at least teach you something. So without wasting much time, I'm going to take the jingle, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to our guest, Bertilla Kibong. She is a grace to grass, a grass to grace story. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Sport Live with Gwendy. And today we're going to have our guest in a very different way. She was unable to connect through the video, through the app that we use to stream live, but she's here on the phone. Bertilla, do you want to say hello to the viewers?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Auntie Gwendolyn, and thank you for adding me.
All right. I am so sorry that you've had so much trouble connecting today. But hey, we are glad to finally have you even on WhatsApp, because we just had to figure out another way to get to you just so that the show goes on today, because it took like an hour to finally connect with you. But before we get to talking to you, I just want to take a minute to say congratulations to Fredash Nem4, who got married last weekend. Congratulations to you. And I also want to take a minute to congratulate Mama Atalaku and Apia Aim Global, who also tied the knot today. Woohoo! Congratulations to you. It's amazing. And I know that, yeah, and I know Mama Talaku is live. I just saw the notification on my phone. And so I know everybody's going to be over there. And for that reason, we're not going to have the show for so long, just because everybody's eyes is on the wedding that's taking place for Mama Talaku and Apia Aim Global. Congratulations to them. So we're just going to dive right into it. Bertilla, tell us a little bit about you. I know we had to talk a little bit. I watched you on Cameroon Feeling with Patience, and your story touched my soul. And I just first of all want to say I'm so sorry for what you went through. But would you want to introduce yourself to the public so people can get to know a little bit more about you very briefly? Hello,
Okay,
mommy. Hi. I
okay.
love you. Love you too. Yes,
Okay.
go ahead.
Can you get me well?
5 on 5. Let me know if you guys can hear Bertilla, because she's joining us through WhatsApp. That's the only way that we could get her on the show today. She struggled to connect to no avail. I don't know what's up with the iPhone. People who love the iPhone, seriously, I feel sorry for you guys, because it's a good phone. It has a lot of security, but there's so many blockages on that phone. Like, I had to give away my MacBook Pro. I just gave it away. Like, I just sold it to somebody for so cheap just because I got upset. I was so happy to have a MacBook Pro, but then when I got it, I was like, what the heck? Why is this thing so hard to use? Like, I was getting frustrated. So I was like, you know what? I told my husband, baby, I don't like this laptop. I'll go back to my regular Windows. Let's deal with what we know better, right? Hey, so Bertilla, you're welcome to the show. And hey, thank you for accepting to be vulnerable. Thank you for accepting to open your heart to share with us your story and what you went through. So if you don't mind, okay, cool. Oh my gosh, my big sister, my mentor, my mom, I don't know, she's watching. My heart is so joyful. Nene Shadzeka, I love this woman so much, and you guys cannot understand. Anyways, so she says that we can hear you. So Bertilla, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell the public who you are.
Okay, all right. Once again, Auntie Gwen, thank you very much for this platform.
Yeah.
I'm Bertilla Kibong from the Northwest region. Precisely, I'm from the Southland. That's Banso. It's been God all the way. I will start with this one.
That's amazing.
So I I come from let me say a poor background, and my mom, my dad, they are of late. I have a kid brother, Melvin, and I have my late elder sister's son. Because my mom, my dad, and my elder sister they of late, so we just three of us now.
Okay.
Ah, oh God, okay. What should I say, God? What's asking question?
I wish I could see your face, Bertilla. I would have really loved to see you talking. And I'm sure that even those who are watching right now would have loved to see you, to see the expression on your face. But we have to do what we have to do. I know you even tried to call a friend. You tried to call a friend to see if you could use their device to connect, but that didn't.
No one is available. They take it to weekend, so all of them are out.
That's okay. You know, the devil's a liar. And as children of God, no matter what happens, we keep going, we keep pushing, because we know that he who has the final say is he's going to make it happen, right? Amen. So, amen. Hey, I want to thank everybody who is tuning in. Today is a very special broadcast, and we're talking to an amazing lady, a young lady who is a fighter. She was an orphan very, very young. She went through so many difficulties in her life. She wished to go to school. That was one of her greatest desires. That unfortunately did not happen. But I'm here to tell you, Bertilla, it's not late. And I'm sure that somebody listening or watching might want to make that happen for you. I know a lot of top actors, actresses, top personalities who went to school late. There is no age in going to school. And I want to encourage everybody watching, make sure that you share the video, because this story is going to touch your soul and it's going to inspire somebody out there who might be in the same situation. So Bertilla, you told me when we talked on the phone, you said you were orphaned very early in your life. Do you want to take us through that?
Okay, so I lost my mom at the age of 6, and I had to struggle through, because I was in class 4, so I had to struggle through and finish my class 7. You asked me where my dad was. 2 weeks after my mom died, my dad went to Nigeria, and I was left with my kid brother. Wow. So luckily, my mom died when it was harvest period. So my kid brother and I, that is how we will survive. And for that time, I was selling kola nut, pears. My grandmother had pears, so that's how I will harvest, and I will be able to raise money for school fees. Back then, the Presbyterian school was 7,500 francs. So I struggled throughout, and I finished from class 4 to class 7. So when I finished class 7, there was no money to go to college. My dream had always been to be a journalist, let me say a media personality. So when I finished school, it was not possible, but I used to dream of being a journalist in CNN.
Oh, that's beautiful.
When I finished school, it wasn't possible. So my mom's best friend told me, after a year, she told me, rather than staying in the village, it's better I come to Yaoundé and live with her cousin. I don't know if that's how they call it. I live with her cousin, who after a year was going to send me to school. I was 11 by then. With the excitement, trust me. You know that moment when you're leaving the village to travel and you enjoy being in the car for hours.
I know.
Yes, I was so excited. I was so happy and everything. So that is how I left Banso to Yaoundé. I traveled all by myself, and I arrived Yaoundé. I was 11. It was agreed that after a year, when I must have known town and known house chores and how to cook, I was supposed to go to school. So I lived in a house of 5, 6 people, an apartment. So when I arrived at the house where I was, there was a house girl, and she left a week after I arrived because she had to teach me things and show me the market and everything. So that is how my journey in Yaoundé started.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, that's a lot to take in. And so you left the village at that young age. You went to live with this lady who was supposed to be a new mom to you.
Yes,
And
yes.
you know, what was the promise that was made, and with who was this promise made when before you left
Okay,
the village? Yeah.
since it's my mom's best friend that brought me to her because that was her elder sister's daughter.
Yeah.
She agreed with her because in the village everybody was just happy that I would have the opportunity to go to school. So
Right.
back in the days there was no written document. Like someone will come and take a child from the village, I would take care and that. So my mom and my mom, like the woman whom I grew up, I still call her mom. I'll tell you why. My mom agreed with her cousin who brought me to her that after a year she was going to send me to school.
Okay.
And
so did she send you to school after 1 year?
Auntie, she did not send me to school for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 and 8 years.
Okay. And so during that time, so after the first year was passed,
Yes.
did your auntie go to her friend to ask her why she had not sent you to school yet, or were you just left on your own? What happened?
Left on my own.
Oh my gosh. So did you ever reach out to your auntie?
I was left on my own, and I could not communicate like in the village because there was no phone.
Yeah.
And back then we had this house phone. Is it fixed phones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mom was the one who could call from the office. So there was no way to even call, even if I wanted to call.
And so for all these years, you just lived in that house and nothing was said about you going to school.
It's not like I just lived in the house. I worked.
Right.
In my life, I think my experience with my mother, I still call her my mother. My experience with my mother is what has destroyed me till today. But I thank God because I'm healed. But imagine living in a house of 7 people, and I have to prepare my kid sister for school, her child. So to me, she's my kid sister. Yeah. I have to prepare her child, and I have to prepare her brothers, and I have to take care of the house. I have to cook. I have to iron. It was really, really not easy. I remember sometimes they would send bitter leaf, jama. In fact, let me tell you how I slept. I was sleeping by midnight, and I was waking up by 4:30 a.m. because I have to prepare her for school, my junior one for school. I have to prepare my madam, my mom. I have to prepare my boss, the husband, and the brothers who have to go out. I have to make them breakfast. I have to do laundry. I have to cook. I have to iron. So, back in the days, she had this house that is full of tiles. So every day, I will have to brush the tiles. When I say every day, I have to wash the tiles. I am not cleaning it. I am brushing it. And I had a particular time that I had to eat, and it has affected me, and it still affects me till now. I will eat only when my mother is back from work. I am the one cooking, but I will only eat at 6 p.m. when she is back from work. And my eating spot was normally the kitchen behind the door.
Oh my God.
And there is this scripture, I think it's in the Bible, where it says, a slave is a slave and a slave remains a slave to the master. So she will read that to me.
She reads that to you?
Yes. Yeah, she's a Christian. I'm sorry for saying this.
Oh, yeah. Bettila. Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's back up a little bit. Were you paid during this time?
I was not paid. I was not paid.
Bettila.
I was not paid.
Okay. And so all these years, how long did you live with this person,
I,
with this,
I live with her for 8 years.
and none of
8
your family
years.
members checked on
No
you, your
pay.
auntie, nobody
No
checked
pay.
on
And
you.
my mother's kid sister, if they're listening to me and if they're following this show, they would know, they know the whole story and they know the truth. My mother's kid sister, who's in the US, would send things for my mother to give me and her daughter. She would take them at trip, and she would tell me that when her daughter will be big, she will wear them.
Wow.
And see, there is this American diplomat. I am not saying names because, yeah, there's this American diplomat because the person I'm talking about works in the American embassy. Oh God, there was this diplomat who actually wanted to adopt me, but she told her that she was to send me to school. That was 6 years later. She told me she was to send me to school, and this is how it will go. When people are coming to the house, she will give me dresses to wear.
Oh,
and when
God.
they go back, I have to remove them. So, Pastor.
Oh, I really want to thank all those who have tuned in today. F. Junior Kings, Fonganjo, Emma Tibui, Elma Nene Shatseka, that's my big sister. Big sis, I need your help here. I'm just getting, my heart is breaking. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what questions to ask. We had so much trouble.
Auntie Green, when I had complained that I wanted to go to school, that was at 17 years. When I complained that I wanted to go to school, she enrolled me in an evening school at ASOS. So I just started school 4 days where I had 3 books, and I didn't have slippers to go to school. So since she had so many bedding slippers, I took one of her slippers and I went with it to class. It had rained that day. So she came to class. It was exactly, I will never forget, it was on a Thursday, exactly 8:20 p.m. She closed her work, came and discovered that the slippers was with me. She came to school, removed me out of the class, got me well beaten, took her slippers and went back.
And you had to walk barefoot to the house?
To the house, because let me say,
hey,
we closed, and then since it had rained, it was difficult for me to walk home. So I arrived home late. Because there was no shoe, so I struggled to arrive. So I arrived home that day by 11 p.m. It is not beating like you would see. My whole body now, the scars they are almost gone. But the beatings, she used to beat me, and the husband backs up. And I remember her daughter, she would ask this, "Mommy, if it is me like this that my mother dies and someone treats me like this, will you like it?"
Oh.
So she would beat me, saying I am the one telling her daughter to tell her that.
Oh,
God.
God.
I have never done that. Her daughter used to call her, "You are Mama G." No, I never told her that, but she saw it.
Bettila.
So I agree.
Our guest on today's show she's a very special young lady. My heart just went out for her. I watched her on the CRTV with Patience for me, and on Cameroon Feeling. I reached out to her and I wanted her to come and share her story. And I want to thank all of you who are here today. This is Spotlight with Gwendy. It's a 1-hour conversation with people, personalities, and professionals whose stories and experiences can inspire and empower the community. The young lady, Bertila Kibon, she's our guest today. She went through a very painful childhood. She lost her parents really early, had to go live with somebody who promised sending her to school. That never happened. For 8 years, she went through, I don't know, inhumane
yes,
treatment.
That is the English word, inhumane.
inhumane
cruel.
treatment.
She was very
She was
cruel
never
to
allowed to
me.
sit at table with the family to eat. She says that she had to sit behind the kitchen door. Why not
Yes.
even in the kitchen,
With a
behind
rubber
the
plate, I
door?
had a rubber plate where I used to eat. I could not eat on a glass because she's the master and I'm the slave.
And
So,
she had to read the
like,
scripture to you, the
yeah,
scripture
she
in the
would take the
Bible.
Bible and I would kneel
I don't
down
know
and she would
if somebody
repeat to
knows
me.
this
A
scripture.
slave is a slave, and a slave remains a slave to the master.
And so she
I will never
called you
forget
a
that. I've never
slave.
forgotten.
She called you a slave, this lady.
Yes,
And she would read a scripture in the
yes,
Bible that says a
yes,
slave remains a slave to the master.
yes,
Just
yes.
because she knew that you have no father, you have no mother to defend you, and she could treat you
Auntie
anyway.
Gwen, let me tell you, it's not like I had no father back then because my dad died in 2010.
Okay.
Yes, my dad died in 2010, but I was not communicating with him. Reason being, he had abandoned us and went to Nigeria. So to me, I had no father. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me tell you how it happened. After those years, I be on the 18 when I was already getting 18. I will not lie to you.
Yeah.
I became stubborn.
Yeah.
Very, very stubborn. I will go out and I will eat at my friend's place before from the quarter. They will give me food. And let me not lie, I was very, very stubborn. When the school thing stopped, I just said, okay, I will just do what I want. So I will tell you another thing.
Yeah.
She knew I loved football.
Yeah.
So she would prefer I go and play football than go to school.
Oh God.
Okay. Let me continue. So when I became stubborn, since I wanted to live at all costs, I went and I slept at the neighbor's house. That's one of our neighbors. And since they knew what was going on, they told me it was better I go back. So that's how I slept. And the following day, I got up very early by 5 a.m. and I came and I was lying in front of the door. It was too cold. When she opened it, I knocked the door on when she came. I arrived, I knocked the door by 4 a.m. She opened by 5. And when I entered in, trust me, the meeting now, I just told her that I want to go to Bad. So I told her she should send me back to my parents. I wanted to go back. Auntie Gwen, there's just so many truths that I really don't feel comfortable saying it. But since the pastors, the husband is a pastor, they used to accuse me of stealing church offerings because they kept it in the house. I don't steal, trust me. Even the food I have cooked, I've never stolen. Never. I don't steal. Yeah, I used to steal from my grandmother food in the village, but I've never stolen from my mom. So each time is that I've stolen church offerings, To cut the whole story short, they took me to our mommy's arm and gave me 10,000 francs to go to Banso.
After 8 years. After 8 years. Staying with them, never being paid a single dime.
The 19, because I was going 19 by then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Nene says that you were not stubborn. Go ahead.
I was sent to the village. I was sent to Banso with 10,000 francs. And Auntie Gwen, I arrived to Banso. And the first person I saw was my father. And
your father was alive?
I hope they have given you the money for all the years you have worked there. I will never forget this.
Okay.
My father had not seen me. He had not spoken to me. But he asked me, he hopes I am coming back with the money for the years I have stayed with them. I went back with the same sacks and motors I traveled with to Yaoundé.
After 8 years?
Yes. Because my mother said, I'm not going with anything that she bought.
Because you slept outside at the neighbor's house? You were being rebellious?
Because I was already becoming stubborn. I will not lie, like I said. I was already becoming stubborn. Yes.
So I'll take this comment from Auntie Nene Shadze, because she says you were not stubborn, you were just rebellious. something that happens when a child is going through trauma. Don't blame yourself. And I don't know what I would have done in that situation, because I was lucky enough, I would say I was blessed to have grown up with my parents, but there were days that I felt that my parents didn't love me enough, and these are just kids. As kids, you always want more. No matter what your parents do for you, you always just feel that you need more, you deserve more, you're entitled to more. And there are times that I would be rebellious and I would say things to them that, oh my gosh, I'll be like, why did I say that to them? Because I felt that they were doing their best to bring me up the best way that they could. But for somebody to treat another person's child in such an inhumane way, I'm saying we've not heard from the other person, we've not heard from the other lady, but I just can imagine what you would have gone through, just knowing that you had nobody to turn to. You are living
nobody
with your auntie's best friend. So for all these years, I want to know, did this auntie of yours who gave you to her best friend ever come to visit you? Because she was your point of contact. Did she come?
She did not come. She had never come.
For 8 years, she never came to visit you.
No.
Did she ever call?
Yes, she used to call and I would extend greetings, but no way to talk to my family.
All right.
Because they had no phone. Yeah.
They had no phone. So, all right. I'm trying to understand, what was going on between these 8 years. The lady that gave you, your auntie who gave you to her best friend, she never traveled to visit you. Was she living in Yaoundé with you, or
no? She was in
somewhere else.
She was in Banso. So she sent me to her cousin, because my mother with whom I grew up.
Yes,
it's the daughter to her big sister. Is that good? Yes, elder sister.
Yes. Okay.
So,
all right. So all these years, for 8 years, you're living with this lady. You were given to her by your auntie. Your auntie never came to visit you. Your dad was alive.
Yes, very
living
alive.
in Banso, and he never came to visit.
Before I continue, my elder sister died, and she refused that I should travel. So I did not travel for my elder sister's burial. That was in 2000 and I was 16 years by then. I don't know which year, but I was 16.
Okay. So which means that you went to this lady's house when you were only 8 years old.
Yeah, I went there when I was 11. So I left there when I was going to 19.
Okay.
19 years. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this question from Auntie Nene. She says, why did the father not come for her? And what happened when she went back to Kumbo? So why do you think your dad never came to visit you in Yaoundé? Was it because he did not have access? He didn't know the lady in question, or what?
No,
what was the reason? He did not care. Are you sure about that? Or
yes.
Why did you think?
Because if he cared, my mom will not die after 2 weeks, and you allow us 6. I'm 6. My kid brother is 3, and my elder sister is 16 and pregnant by then. So what are you telling me?
All right. So your dad, he went to Nigeria. Maybe he was pushed by trauma.
I don't know. To me, that is just my own thinking. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe he cared or he wanted to, but that is my own. Another reason why I thought he did not care is because when I arrived, Banso, they held a meeting with the uncles, with the brothers.
Yes.
To call my mom back in Yaoundé. Let me explain so you understand.
Yes.
To call my mom back in Yaoundé. To settle me for all the years I had been with her.
Yes.
While in their meeting, this one is saying, I will take this money and buy my okada. I will take this money and buy my pigs. On top of my money, let me say it like that. On top of my money, they're having plans. So Auntie Gwen called my mother and told her, Mommy, I stayed with you. Please send me to school. Don't send them the money, because she told them that she was going to give them 3.5 million for the years I had been with her.
For the 8 years you were living with her. Yeah.
So I begged her that she should not send them the money.
Okay.
That she should send me to school.
So why did you call her after she had mistreated you for so many years and wouldn't even give you food or anything or treat you like a normal child? Why did you have to call her to ask her not to settle you? And I want to explain what settlement is for people who come from Africa. It's a way of, paying somebody for services after they've worked for you for a certain amount of years or time. Just really depends on whatever agreements you had with them. And so she had lived with this lady for over 8 years. And after going back to her village in Banso in the Northwest region, I saw somebody correcting. He said it's not Banso, it's Nso. Going back to Nso, okay, in the Northwest region, after over 8 years, the lady gave her 10,000 francs CFA. And 10,000 francs CFA is about, I'm trying to see how much dollars is that. Is it $20 or $10? I'm just trying to make sure that I get it right. It's about $20, I think. $20. Hi! My goodness, after 8 years. And so she went back to her family home. And instead of the family being concerned about this money being sent for her to finally go back to school, they started making plans of their own on how to use this money. So we're listening to her on WhatsApp just because we couldn't get her on this platform. For some reason, her phone wasn't connecting. And I really plead your indulgence. Everybody watching, please just pay attention to the story that she's telling us. And we really hope that after today's show, these mentalities are going to change, and people who do such things, who treat other people's children in such a manner, would really get punished. They should be sent to jail. Seriously, they should be sent to jail. Seriously, you don't treat some other person's child, because if that person, if Bertilla wasn't as strong as she is, she could have ended up somewhere else, maybe doing something worse with her life. But we're here. We're going to continue the story from when she went back to the village. And I just asked her the question, why did she call her mom, the lady who raised her for over 8 years, asking her not to send the money to her family? So Bertilla, go ahead.
Okay, because I wanted her to be sending it for my school fees, because they wanted the money for their own. So I wanted her to instead pay my school fees with the money. So I called her and she accepted. So I went to St. Peter's College in Kumbu.
Okay.
I looked for my admission. I've never been to Form 1, not to Form 2, but I just went and I entered straight in Form 3.
Okay.
When I entered Form 3, the first week I felt sick.
Oh God.
Yes. My mom sent part of my school fees. No lies. I'm telling nothing but the truth. He sent part of the school fees for the first installment. And when I felt sick, I was to be operated. It was urgent.
You needed an urgent emergency surgery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
was that the end of school for you? So you finally went to school, and I just want you all to understand, her biggest dream was to go to school. She wanted to go back to school. She wanted to be like other kids and have an education. And that's the reason why she stayed with this lady for 8 long years, working as a house helper. Unfortunately, that did not happen until she finally went back to Nso in the Northwest region. After a series of discussions with this lady and her family, she finally went to school, was enrolled in Form 3, and fell sick just 1 week after going back to school. So what happens after that time, Bertilla? So were you able to go back to school? What happened after you fell sick?
Okay. So when I felt sick, when I felt sick, my family went to the native doctors, and they said I had committed an abomination that I needed to confess before I am delivered.
Okay.
I had not done nothing in the Jesus. I had done nothing. And
Okay.
Auntie Gwen, let me
So I want to
go straight.
understand which family members took you to a native
My own
doctor.
family members now. My own family members.
Who and who? I want to know who was involved. Was your
My
dad
uncles,
alive?
my aunts, my dad's elder sister, and the junior ones. Yes.
Where was your
My
dad
sister
at this
family,
time?
that's them.
Where was your dad at this time?
He was in Banso.
So your dad and his siblings and his brothers and sisters took you to the native doctor when you fell
Yes, my
sick.
father in particular. Yes.
Okay. So what they went to do, they didn't take you to the hospital to find out what was wrong with you, but they took you to a native doctor.
Yes. When we went to the native doctor, when we went to the native doctor, I told him I had not done no abomination, and that's when now they took me to BBH. And when we arrived at there, they said they could not operate me. That they, like, it was more than them, so they sent me to Shitong. And when I went there, they sent me there, and when I went there, they needed to give me blood. Let me say, is that it for them to operate me?
Yeah, they had to give you a blood transfusion. Okay, but what was wrong with you? Why did you need surgery?
This is it. Me, as I'm standing like this, I still don't know. I remember one year one day I used to cry that my stomach is paining. Yes, I used to cry a lot that my stomach is paining. So my mom would give me medicines, and I myself, I would find medicines and take.
Okay.
I just knew I had pains under my stomach. Yes.
All right.
That's just all I.
And
that's,
so
that's just all I.
You went to the first hospital with your family. Your family took you there, and they could not operate on you, and they sent you to Shisong, which is a bigger hospital with more equipment and all that. And so, did you get operated upon? Did you finally get the operation? What happened?
Yes. So when we arrived there, they said I needed blood. And my dad, it hurts, but you know that point when you're talking, it's like you're exposing your family. But I don't know if I should really say this.
Just you can keep some things back if you don't feel comfortable.
Yes.
We're just really trying to bring out the aspect of what families do and how they hurt their kids without knowing, and how their actions can impact their kids' futures. Just certain things that we're trying to stamp out of the community. And we're not bashing anybody's family here. We're not bashing your family for doing what they thought was right, because we still have families these days doing that, right? There are still families that sell their kids for peanuts, just because they want to pay for this or that. We saw that in Can Quintos's movie. Yeah. So Bettila, so you had the surgery. What age? At what age were you at this time?
Yes, I was 19, 20. That's 20 to 21, because I met the Dutch girls in the hospital. I was yes, that was 20 to 21.
Alrighty. So
so in the Shison hospital, when I was operated, if I was operated, I would not lie. I called my mom and I told her about the situation. So she sent part of the operation money.
Your mom, this lady that you lived with for 8 years, right?
Yes.
So she sent part of the money for your surgery.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after the surgery then?
After the surgery, I was left in the hospital because no one could finish the hospital bill. Neither my family, and my mother said she had financial problems. So I was left in the hospital where because in the hospital there is a ward, or there is a side where when they discharge you and you don't have money, you can stay there before your family comes to settle. So it was while at the Shison hospital.
So
I met
this young lady,
some Dutch girls.
She has been through a whole lot in her life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most difficult programs I've ever had to do in my whole life, because we're dealing with a true life situation of a young lady who went through thick and thin just because she wanted to go to school. Unfortunately, she lost her parents early. Her mom, precisely. I'm
Yes.
just understanding now that all through these years, her dad was actually there, even though he eventually died.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he eventually died, but he was
Let me
there.
explain so you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. While in the hospital, because some that girls came for stage, and thank God to the Reverend sister back then. I will forever be grateful to our sister Rufina, who was a matron back then. She used to see me because I used to sit in the hospital garden, and people had already known me, so the remaining food for the patients they would give me, and my kid brother will leave from Ma and come and see me. Hi Jesus.
Bettila, just hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, okay? Hold on a minute. And so Bertilla got sick. She got sick at the age of about 20 to 21. She needed a surgery. And this was just 1 week after she had finally been sent to school by this same madam who she lived with for
not sent to school.
8 years.
I was not sent to school by what I didn't understand you, please.
You were not sent to school by this. You said this madam you lived with for 8 years was the one who paid for you to go to school. Finally.
For no, she didn't pay for me to. She paid the first time, but the second time it was the Dutch girls.
Okay.
I've not.
Okay. There, all right. We're going to get to that. So I just wanted to bring everybody to speed so people can follow up. Those who are just joining in, thank you for tuning in. Please share the video with at least 5 people. This issue that we're talking about today is very crucial. It's something that still happens in our communities, especially in the African community. Some people take advantage of the fact that they are well-to-do to maltreat other people's children who are maybe less fortunate and who only wish to have a better life. Most of them just want to go to school. Our guest on today's show lived with somebody, a lady, for over 8 years. She never got paid a salary for all these 8 years, never got a fair treatment, never even had the right to sit on the table, the dining table with everybody to eat, had to sit behind the kitchen door to eat, never even had the right to use shoes or slippers. She went to school barefoot. In this modern day, like, this is just heartbreaking. And so she finally decided that she had enough when she was a little bit more older, went back to the village, was sent back to the village with only 10,000 francs CFA, which is equivalent to about $20 for those who are in the US. Took ill, needed a surgery, finally got surgery, but the entire money to pay for this surgery was not paid. And so she had to work in the hospital. She had to leave in the hospital and work in the hospital as a helper,
yes,
in order to meet up, to cover up the bills that her family was unable to pay. So I just want to ask, Bertilla, during this time when you were staying in the hospital, working in the hospital to complete the money so that you could, where was your family at this time?
They never came. No one came apart from my kid brother and my father's elder sister.
So after your surgery, you were just left in the hospital by yourself?
After my surgery, 3 days later, I still had this, you see how they call it, the catheters and everything. 3 to 4 days, yes. My father's wife, because my dad had, I don't know, they were not legally married.
But he had another wife, so your stepmother.
Yes, my stepmom, yeah. So she stayed with me for 4 days in the hospital and later left me there.
And so after these 4 days, did they come to check on you to see if you have been discharged so they could take you home?
Nobody came.
Wow.
Once in a while, my dad's kid brother would check and give me bread. But after that, that was all.
Did you think that they were so busy? Or, I mean, I don't know if anybody's supposed to be that busy for your child is in the hospital.
I thought that they were angry because I did not accept them to take the money they wanted to take. And
so they decided to just leave you on your own to fend for yourself. Yeah, I think that was really the reason. They were upset because you stopped this same lady who didn't treat you well from sending money back. Now, I'm really intrigued, Bertilla. Why did you Why did you call the lady? And I'm thinking maybe it's just because you were naive at that time. You were still young and you didn't quite know what you were doing. But why did you call her and ask her not to send the money to your family? She could have.
Because I did not want them to use the money. I did not. I knew what I had heard. What they were planning. They were planning to buy their stuff, not me. And I wanted to go to school, so
Okay.
I was begging her not to send them the money, but rather be paying my school fees. That was why I went to the school to look for registration, and she sent the money straight back then to at St. Peter's College. Back then it was Father Archie, the principal back then. She
Let me
sent the
know.
money directly
Okay.
to
Okay.
them. Yes.
All right. And so she ended up working at the hospital until she met a group of Dutch girls who made her dream of going back to school come true.
Yes.
Now, I want to extend
Yes.
an invitation to anybody who is watching right now. If you want to join the show, just let me know and I'll send you the code so you can join. If you want to contribute on this topic, I know that this is like a very first. I've never had, a program like this where we're really talking about I'm feeling personally hurt, just because I've been a kid before, and sometimes we would see some neighbors maltreat other people's children. We watch that in movies. It's heartbreaking, but hearing it from somebody who has had this experience, it's even more painful. So if there's anybody watching right now who wants to join the broadcast and contribute or throw more light on what's going on concerning this topic, I would be grateful. I would love to send you the code, the link so you can join. So this question from Auntie Nene, she says they had no business getting that money. She was right with that decision. Yes, they had no business indeed getting that money. And well, she finally went back to school and her family got upset. They got upset with her. And so when she got the surgery and they couldn't foot the bills, they kind of abandoned her there in the hospital and she had to work. And I've gone to the hospital sometimes and I've seen some patients who got well but who couldn't pay their bills work in the hospital to foot those bills. What kind of hospital is this? Is this Shisong not a Christian hospital, really? And I know that it's a business, but how? I don't know. Like I'm finding it difficult to phrase that question. But this young lady, she had surgery, she got well, she couldn't foot her bills. She's just a child. Well, she's a young lady at 20, 21. She was already quite matured, but still, I don't know if it was right for the family to abandon her in the hospital or if it was right for the hospital to impose on her to work in the hospital to be able to foot that bill. She didn't come to the hospital by herself. She was brought there by her family. So why would the hospital not go back to the family to get their payment? Instead, they're going to have this young lady work. Can she quickly take us through the end of the story? Yes. Bertila, let's go to, I think she had a network problem. I'm going to try to call her back and hopefully we can get to her. We got disconnected there. Hi, Bertila.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Auntie Gwen.
So, we'd like to know, we let's cut everything up.
Yeah.
You met the Dutch girls. What happened? Because we still need to talk about what you do today and how you came out of that and how you want to help other people in this situation come out of that. So what happened after that period?
I met, while working in the hospital canteen, I met some Dutch girls, which I would really love to call their names. I met Kim Heidemann, I met Dorrit Peters, and I met Marioline Verdet. The three of them, they were nurses back then, and they knew I told them everything, and they loved me. And the Reverend sisters, they loved me. In Shisong, I will not lie. They took me in, and I just beside the orphanage because I was more even in a comfortable place.
Okay.
So that's where I knew the Dutch girls, and then they just paid for my 3 years in school, in the boarding school, precisely Ripakonka.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
And so did you complete
Mayo
school?
paid 1 year, Kim paid 1 year, and Dorette paid 1 year. So
Oh,
I went
that's
to Form
amazing.
3, Form 4, Form 5. And when I wrote ordinary levels, I failed.
Okay. And so what happened
Yes.
after your ordinary levels? Were you able to take the exam again? Did you pass? Did you go to high school?
No,
What happened?
no. After I had seen everything, I will be honest, I wanted to make money.
Okay.
So the Reverend Father back in Kumbu sent me again as a house help to come and work for another family again.
And you
I will
accepted?
not lie. Yes, I am honest. I came again. I worked again as a house help for a year. I raised some money. I will not lie, Auntie Gwen. Like I said, I had to do good. I had to sleep with men for money because I needed to take care of my kid brother. I needed to send them back to school and the rest. So I would say I did the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I had to survive. I would say I don't regret it. Trust me. Yeah, because I needed to survive. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is it.
I really want to salute your courage, Bertilla, because it takes courage, and I know that you're crying, but you okay?
God.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay.
I want to salute your courage, Bertilla, because I cannot pretend to know what you must have gone through to get to where you are today. But you have a story. You were able to, you leave from that story where you had nothing to a young lady who people sit in their homes and watch on the screen. So that story, it's becoming brighter and brighter. Like Orange says, the future is bright. Your future is getting bright. Tell us about the new Bertilla Kibon. What's happening in your life, and how are you able to, to rise above the ashes?
Yes. So first, like I always say, it's been God all the way.
Yeah.
And it's still God all the way. There is a lady on Facebook. I think you know her, Charisma Patrick.
Yes.
It's thanks to her that I am this strong, because she's one person who did not judge me.
God bless her.
And she listened to me, and she loved me, and she cared for me. She still cares till now. She still cares. Charisma Patrick. She still cares. If you check out Facebook.
Yeah, I know Charisma Patrick. Yes,
she's been like a heroine to me. So she led me to Christ.
That's amazing.
And so I've known God like seriously for 3 years now.
That's good.
And I left the bad life. I left sleeping with men and the rest, and I just became better. As Charisma was a role model, I had always wanted to be like her, because she's really stood by me for like 8 years now in Yaoundé.
Wow.
So yeah, I will just say it's thanks to her that I discovered the me in my story. I was like, how can I say this? How can I be able to talk it out? And maybe any child, any adult that is going through this could feel better, because sometimes people don't understand. Like what you feel inside, you will just judge it without really knowing what is happening, because people will question. Like when I went to, for example, C.A.T, everyone was asking me, I'm lying. I will not lie.
Who asked you that?
People, they know me, they're listening to it. And I've never lied about my life, first of all, on social media. If you check my timeline, you will see me. I'm true to myself.
Yeah.
Yes. And so it is special thanks to Charisma Patrick.
All right. Well, we really grateful to Charisma. So how did you get into acting? Because today we see you in a lot of comedy skits with KOLA SUCRÉ. You're on the big screen, girl. Congratulations. Yeah, you're a star. Yeah. So how did you get into this new phase of your life?
I actually, since I admire Charisma a lot, I wanted to be like her. Now, since I could not be the MC like her, I was like, what can I do to be like her? And then I said to myself, what I've been through, because now I'm already matured.
Yeah.
Back then I was very naive, and there's some things I don't know in the rest. But the English I speak, thanks to the little school I went, and thanks to YouTube, that I learned some things. We're in a developed world now, so I learned a lot from YouTube. So I said to myself, what can I do to really speak out? How can I be a voice? I said, I've gone through a lot. Why not use my story to change a situation? Why can't I be different? Like, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be that girl, because back then my friends would mock at me. For example, when I stopped living and sleeping with men, my friends were angry because let me say, as I stopped, my life stopped too. So I could not live large. Let me say it that way.
It was a new phase in your life. The money wasn't coming.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So they were mocking at me. I've not gone to school, and they always say, like, better get degree, that kind of thing. Better go to school, even if it's advanced, that kind of thing. So I said to myself, that's why I said I'm a Lionheart girl. I'm not scared of nothing, because I've actually seen all.
Yeah. And I want to tell you something. It's not late. You can go back to school at any age. I've seen a lot of people, we've heard of stories of people who were millionaires who went back to school and who got their degrees. So don't despair. If that's something you want to do, if you want to check that on your to-do list, girl, go for it. So tell me about,
to go for school, it should be acting. Until I would not like
but
acting.
try to get, if you want to get, maybe you want to get your ordinary levels, and then get your advanced levels, then you can study cinematography or acting or whatever it is that you want to study. You can do that. Just put that in your mind. If it's on your to-do list, find out what it is that you need to do. Girl, go all in, and I'll tell you that you would definitely make it. So how did you meet KOLA SUCRÉ? And how did you come about working with him? Very briefly, because we're running out of time.
Let me just make it brief. Mel B. Akren has been a good friend. Yes, our artist Mel B.
Okay.
She's been good to me too. Yes. So she invited me because I was a fan. So she invited me to join her for shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, I joined her, and that was when I met KOLA SUCRÉ. And this is how before meeting KOLA SUCRÉ a little bit, I had asked one Anglophone English brother to help me get to him, because I wanted to join him in acting. And my English brother said I should pay him 100,000 francs. I begged him 50,000 francs to make KOLA SUCRÉ, and it was not possible. So I let it be. So when Mel B invited me this particular day, KOLA SUCRÉ was there.
Okay. And so how did you guys come in contact?
He walked up to me and asked me, Laetitia, ça va? Tu fais quoi ici? I told him, je suis dans le cinéma, mais on peut travailler ensemble. So that is how the 31st of 2020, c'est ça? No, 2019, something like that. That's how KOLA SUCRÉ called me on the 31st, and we did our first video, like, pour the bonne année, and since then, that I started working with him.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love to hear a happy ending, because after all that pain and trauma, God has proven to you that he's still alive. He doesn't fail. And I love this song by Judy K, where she says, "You do not lie, you do not fail.
You do not fail. What is hard for you to do? It doesn't exist. Oh, it can never exist.
Oh, yes.
You do not lie, you do not fail. What is hard for you to do? It can never exist. Oh,
woohoo!
Lord, I know you would trust in you. Not in horses and chariot. Yes, God has been good.
Yes, I love the strength that you have right now in your. I can feel the strength coming back inside of you. I can feel the lion girl heart. You call yourself the Lionheart girl. And you even have a restaurant business that you started, the Lion's Kitchen. Tell us about that, girl. You're not sleeping. You know the sleeper.
No. So acting is actually not giving me much. So I said to myself, since I have a lot of free time, it's better I do something that will add up to the little I earn from acting.
Yes.
So I will not lie. My mom I will still come to her. My mother taught me cooking. So I am using the cooking now to make money.
And you're eating now as we're talking.
Yeah, I'm eating plantains and dole.
This girl, so you don't even wait more finish, and then we go try a plantain and dole well quietly. And you say no, you must eat now.
I cry at the energy went so I need to get it back.
Because you are not on screen. Will you be eating you on screen? This is a live show, girl. So put that food away. Put that food away. This is a live show. Imagine that you're on TV and you have a bowl of food, plantain, whatever it is. How could you do? You only wait no. So I'm really happy to see how far you've come, you know, from a very traumatic childhood, feeling unloved, being maltreated. How is your relationship with this lady, your mom? You still call her mom? Why do you call her mom?
My mom. Why do I call her that way? Because I'm a child of God now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I no longer see things like before.
Okay.
And I skipped one little part. Let me just say it briefly.
Okay.
I came to Yaoundé and I threatened her with messages.
You did?
That she should pay me.
So did she pay you?
I'm not lying.
Did she pay you?
That's what I didn't. That's what I didn't say. She gave me she signed, and every month she would give me 30,000 francs until it was, I think, 800,000 francs, and that is how she paid me, like roughly 1 million. I would collect every month. So that was how it ended, because she took me to Saint-Dicet.
Okay.
Yes.
Saint-Dicet, the police. She took you to the police. That you're threatening her life.
With church members.
Okay. All right. So, this story is interesting. All right. So, wow, this was a really very mixed story, you know, of a young lady who only wanted to go to school, lost her mother very young, went to live with a lady who is a pastor, got the worst treatment of her life for 8 years, finally got sent back home to her family, and the whole story ended up, she went to school, didn't get her ordinary levels, still hopes to finish school someday, and I want to encourage her to do that. Now she is back in Yaoundé, you know, trying her hands out in acting. She works with a very famous comedian in Yaoundé, Cameroon, called KOLA SUCRÉ. There on that picture, you can see them. They met on the set of a video shoot, Mel B's video shoot, Mel B Aquen, and since then they've hit it off, and they are a couple today, a TV couple, not an actual couple. But are you guys a couple? Are you guys a couple beyond the screen?
Sometimes, just that's.
Bettina, what are you saying? Sometimes
we're just acting.
Okay, so you're a couple on screen.
No, we're not. He's like a brother. Yeah, he's like a brother.
You're a couple on screen. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yes.
All right.
On screen.
That's amazing. So, how has that relationship been working with somebody like KOLA SUCRÉ, who you had always admired and you work with today?
Yeah, see, it's a dream come true.
Oh wow!
I'm happy. Yes, because he's taken me to many places. You know, I'm able to even know some people thanks to him. And there are so many people fighting to be at my position. Let me say it that way, because they always be like free and before la. You understand? So there are people out, because people always ask me like, what did you sleep with him? You understand, that kind of a thing? Because people always think like to be there, I must have slept with him. That's how they think, but it's not like that.
Right.
Never.
And so it was just something that, you know, that just happened. God helped it.
God had decided it. Yes.
Yeah. I love this comment from Auntie Nene. And I really want to thank all of you who've been on here. It was different today because we had to, you know, call our guests on the phone. She says, I want to bless this girl and I would like her to feed 10 homeless children, and the bill is on me. I'll contact Charisma to conclude that. Oh, Auntie Nene, this is my mom. This woman is.
Thank you so very much.
And you know, I remember there was this day that I had a dream about her, and I saw her with angel wings. You know, I saw her with angel wings. and she was just like, she was just pampering me. Like I was going through a lot of trauma and pain. I went through a
Yeah.
lot. I went through a lot in my own way when I was younger, but she was one of those people that made me smile. She was hard on me though,
Oh,
but I love her to death. Like I love her to death. And I thank God for her in my life, because the day I met her, my life changed. And if I'm here talking,
amen.
if I'm having the show today, she taught me everything. She was there for me. She
Amen.
loved me. She took me to all kinds of
Oh,
places. And I'm so grateful.
she's a
Thank you so
heroine.
much. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love her so much. And I'm so grateful
Auntie
that
Nene, thank you.
for
Really, thank
people
you so
like
very
this.
much.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go, girl. The business is growing, the community is growing. And I really wish.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Nothing missing, nothing broken.
and I just want to encourage you. I want to tell you to look for Auntie Nene, look for her and hold her tight. You see, she's
Okay,
a gateway to
yes.
so many celebrities that you see out here today. She has built most of us that you see on TV like that. She trained us somehow. She held our hand. She took us somewhere.
And she's also she's also a role model to charisma.
Yes. So she says that she's offering 10 homeless children food. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh,
Auntie
thank you so
Nene,
much, Big Sis. God
very
bless you.
much.
God bless you so much. So, yes, so today you've made peace with your mom, and
I have not made peace. Oh, I have begged my again since I knew God. I've begged my mom to forgive me for the messages I wrote to her. You know, when you meet Jesus Christ, there's
a
a
transformation.
level. There's a transformation. Let me say it that way.
Yeah.
I even let go everything and everything, because since then she had not had a child. She only has that one child, and she's not had children. She put to bed and they died and the rest. So sometimes I always feel like maybe because I said bad things to her.
You said curse words to her, but
Yes, I did.
So I think that one of the steps that you're going to have for healing, you might still need to maybe see somebody, maybe a therapist, and somebody to just talk to, or you might need to do maybe other things, maybe start a non-profit.
I feel guilty. Let me say it this way. I feel guilty because, I actually said those words like, God could not bless you God cannot give you kids because of how you treated me. And then when we went to Sang Dissect, and she lied. About things to me. So yeah, so many things to me. I had no one to defend me back by then.
Yeah.
So that anger, actually, I really said words. I did.
Do you think that you can forgive? Do you think that you can forgive this woman someday completely?
Yes, I can. I even wrote to her for us to meet, but she's refused. For the past, like the whole of this year, for example, my kid sister, her daughter, we communicate.
Okay.
She sometimes even asks me for help, and when I can, I do. Not like I have, but I see it with family.
Has she watched your video where you're talking about how she treated you? What does she think about that?
I don't know if she does, but her daughter was blocked from all my social media handles, but as God will have it, she's still my sister. That is it, as I call it.
Okay. And so Bertilla,
I really wanted to meet her and we talk. Let me air my mind to her, because she actually hurt me and it has traumatized me as I'm even talking now like this. But thank God for grace and mercy, I'm healed.
Amen.
Because there's some days you cannot understand, really. You cannot. But I had to talk to my pastor about it last 2 months. I spoke to my pastor about it, like it was really disturbing me. And my pastor said, if I've asked for forgiveness, I've wanted us to meet, and I've seen some people to get to her, but she's really not interested. So my pastor said, within me, I should try let go. I should forgive myself.
Yeah.
Forgive her, then let go.
Yeah.
But I said, okay.
All right. So I want to ask you, what would you want to do differently for other kids like you who may have gone through this situation, or who are actually going through the situation? Because we know what you went through was just not happening only to you. There are a lot of stories we've heard like that. But as somebody who's experienced this, what would you like to do differently, and how would you like to help others in the situation?
Okay. First of all, I would like to, I would like them to open up, because Auntie Gwen, one of the things that kills people, that makes youths to commit suicide, is depression. Why? You're not able to open up because sometimes you're scared of how people will react to it when you tell your story,
what they will
when
say.
you say it.
Yeah, the stigma.
So I will actually want to be that voice out there for anyone. I will always say, for any orphan child. I just want to make a difference in my own way. Maybe we could be family. You need someone to talk to, because trust me, you will not know what it means how it feels when you need someone to talk to and there is no one.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. If I were to ask you today, what kind of help do you need? What would you need to make this happen? To be a voice, to be that one that people can call, that other kids like you who've been through this situation, who've been traumatized, who've been abused. What kind of help do you need from the public, from all these people watching right now? Auntie Nene is there, Lillian Kafu, Fonganjo, Eric Berka, who is joining from South Korea, all these people watching. If you had to ask for help, plus the thousands of people that are going to watch later on, what would you really want to ask them to help you achieve, to help you do?
I will ask them to help me. I don't know how to say it. I don't really need money, but I don't know how to get to is it, how to say it?
Where?
How do they put this? I just want us to come together, people who believe in me, like you, who believe in me, to help me, and we gather those children, those adults, even, because adults are depressed too. We have people like me who have gone through this, and they don't know how to go about it. How did I come out? How did I get well? Because trust me, there were sometimes I thought of committing suicide, and you need to learn to say no, because there are two voices within us. There is a yes and there is a no, which is Satan and devil. So we need to learn to, I need to help them to learn to say no, even to the abuse. I need to learn them to say no to anyone doing that to them.
But if they say no and there's nowhere to turn to, don't you think they're just going to end up on the street? Okay, they should come to you.
That is where I come in now.
Okay.
We can,
okay.
We can fight against this. We can tell this. We can try to help them out. Talk to sensitize parents, caretakers, so that they can treat people's children really well. Really.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this question out now to everybody who is watching, to Auntie Nene particularly, because I know she's a mom. She's a mom to so many people, so many youths today. Mom, what do you think would be the best way for Bertilla to be able to help other kids or young people who may have gone through this situation, and how can she help them better? Like, what does she need to do? Because she wants to be the voice. She wants to be that person that they can call and talk about their problems. She wants to be that big sister where they can call and confide in her and stuff like that. Do you have any ideas on what she can do for this to happen? Like, what can she do? Fonganjo says, I personally want to be part of any organization. I want to partner with you to help others. Oh, Fonganjo is my teacher. Yeah, he taught me in secondary school, and he is here, and it's an honor to have my teacher watching me today, and it just means a lot to me. He's always there supporting, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
so
much.
he says that he would like. You're welcome, darling. I believe that, we all have missions on earth, and my mission is just to be able to relay this message, to connect people to their true passion, to their true purpose, to their destiny helpers through the programs that I do. And I'm so grateful if somebody got inspired, somebody got empowered, somebody just felt uplifted or encouraged to go beyond themselves. And I want to thank you so much, Bertilla. You're such a strong woman, a strong young woman. You're a fighter. And I want to say that you are a winner. So before we go, Bertilla, what would you what would be your strong message that you're passing to the community, to everybody watching on this whole situation, the house help madam in brackets issue? What would be, Auntie Pam is here. She says, they should not blame themselves for whatever happened. They should not be afraid to reach out for help. God bless you, Bertilla. This is from Auntie Pamela Messi. She is a former journalist from C.A.T. So honored. She took me like her daughter out here. Auntie Nene says her testimony is wonderful. She can partner with other associations who have the same mission and work with them. Big sis, can you help? Do you know any organizations that you can introduce her to, or do you know any people that you can connect her to who can help her with this? Because like she's been saying, she really doesn't have anybody, and she only depends on God and goodwill ambassadors like us to give her the light so she can be able to help more people. Bertilla, so what is your message? What message are you sending to the world today as somebody who's been a victim of abuse, mental, emotional, I guess not physical, because did they beat you? Yes, you said they beat you because you wore slippers. So it's all of that abuse in general. And kids who are going through this situation, what is that message that you want to tell the world today before we take leave with you?
Okay. I just want to say this. Let us all learn to love. Auntie Gwen, let us all, I said, learn to love. Let us all learn to feel each other's pains. To any caretaker out there, to any mother, to any father, if you take someone's child, please ensure you do take care of them like they were your own kids. Because trust me, they might be the people to help you tomorrow. Look at, for example, my kid sister contacts me now for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want us to, I just know love. That is all I can say. Trust me, I just know love. And we should also, please, before sending your child out, this one like this, I'm saying it, before sending your child out, make sure you check on them. Even if it's not every week, per month, go and visit them. Ask them questions. It is important. It is. Yes, it is.
I know that there have been families where, when your family is coming, they're going to pretend to hide everything. So we all know that happens. We've seen that in movies. So your message to the world is that let love lead. Don't take somebody's child and treat them less than your own children. Okay.
And please, there is something I wanted to add up a little bit.
Yes, go ahead.
There is something about rape. I will just brief it up.
Were you raped?
The people, no, actually, this was at the age of 4, 5. I think Gwen, I would prefer that to talk with you, but the people we keep our kids to actually matters. And trust me, the people who abuse our kids sexually are the ones you think they are safe with them. So please, let us be careful to who we entrust our kids to. Gwen, I will talk with you.
Bertilla, I don't know what to say. There's so much about you. I think we can write a movie on you, a book. I mean, you're in good hands. Auntie Nene is here. She says she's going to connect with you. Please, as soon as after the show, connect with Auntie Nene and just hold her tight. Be by her side, and she's going to help you. She's going to show you people who can help you, Bertilla. And I want to thank you for sharing your story today. Thank you for encouraging other young people or even older people who may have gone through this situation of being abused by their madams, the house help madam phenomenon. And I would just want to really put out a call to action right now to everybody watching, to those who are going to watch later on. If you see something, say something. Don't feel like you're not concerned. If you have a neighbor who is maltreating another person's child, all in the name of it's my house help, say something. And if you are out there and you are treating another person's child wrong, you should go to jail. For real. Don't take the kids and maltreat them. If you're not going to let them sit on your chairs or your couch because they're too filthy, don't just let them be. They're filthy to sit on your couch. They are filthy to sleep on your bed. They are filthy to sit on the table with you and eat meals with you. But they are not filthy to clean your house, to scrub your walls. They are not filthy to get up at 4 a.m. and take care of you, your kids, feeding and all whatnot. Stop it. If you're one of those people doing that out there, look at yourself in the mirror. You have your kids today. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. You don't know if your kids will have you for all their lives. What if something happens to you and somebody treats them the way you're treating another person's child? Think about it. Think about it. It hurts. Nobody knows tomorrow. Bettila is 20-something years old. She's still going through this pain and trauma. You can hear her on the phone.
31 now, but I still hurt. I'm 31, I still hurt.
She's 31. She has managed to rebuild her life. She's an actress. She's a photo model. She has her own business just because she doesn't want to have to sleep with men for money. She's fighting for a different life to change her story, but that trauma she went through is still within her. Please, let's stop this attitude. Let's stop it. Don't treat people how you wouldn't want to be treated. Don't treat another person's child how you don't want your own children to be treated. You don't even know if you're going to be there tomorrow. We have people dying every day from all kinds of things. Imagine
and the reason why I've even been scared of even talking is because they're Christians, you know. So
anyway, you haven't called anybody's name, and which is really good. You don't need to say anything. Those who know. Don't stop, because there are people who will call you and try to find out who is this person, just so that they can propel that information. But just keep it to yourself. Make peace with this lady. I'm sure that she's going through trauma herself, knowing that she's a pastor and she treated somebody's child the way she did. I believe that she watches you. I know that she's probably watched one of these shows. She has heard that you've talked about her. She knows that you've talked about her. And I think that you reached out to her already asking for forgiveness. She should call you as a mom and sit you down and talk to you, and you both make peace. And you continue your work as an advocate, helping other young people. And Bettila, I want to wish you the best. I wish you all the best. I love you as a young girl who is working so hard. I'm proud of where you've come, how far you've come on your own.
It's been all the way.
On your own. And I know that things will only get better for you. After this show, I am so positive about it. It's just like I would say, Auntie Nene, there's nobody that she touches that doesn't feel the impact. Something has to change in you. And the fact that you've been on this show today, your life will never be the same again. And there's so many people on this live broadcast that I know would reach out to you, would want to help you, and the people that will watch later on. And I'm already in contact with you. Yeah, we're going to work on some things.
Thank you really
you are blessed. You are blessed. And this is
to everyone who participated. Thank you.
Yes.
And I hope that together we can be a voice together to heal the kids, to heal the adults, because adults too hurts, but they cannot talk because we think they're adults.
Exactly. Bertila, thank you for sharing your vulnerable moments with us. The story has touched my soul, and I really just hope that the message has gone through. Let's be one another's keeper. I think the end message here, you heard it from her. Let love lead. If you see something, say something. Somebody around you is maltreating another person's child. Reach out to them, talk to them, say something. Don't be quiet. Don Judek says, Bettila, you are a powerful woman to bring this powerful topic online. I hope it will touch some youths out there. Power to you.
Amen.
And Eric
Thank you
Berka
very
says,
much.
I knew Bettila back in the years, but never knew of her sad story. We'll get to her and see how I can help in any small way. God bless all of you. I
Thank
am
you
so
very much.
proud of all of you for taking action right now to be a change. I don't know what to say, but God bless and replenish and just provide for
Amen.
you in any
Amen.
way. Okay, Bettila.
Amen. Thank you
Don't
very
ever
much.
despair. Don't ever despair. I know your story is bigger. Your destiny is
Thank you.
bigger, and you will
Amen.
be a voice. You will speak on international
Amen.
platforms. You would inspire the
Amen.
world. Okay, so
Amen.
just
Thank you so
just
much, Auntie Gwen.
just keep being strong. Che Augustine just joined right now, and he's the very last message we're taking. Oh, my kid says, I love your program. This is my first time watching you. And Bettila, thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you for the support. This means a lot. So we're going to take leave of you, Bettila. We'll talk inbox, okay? Make sure that
Okay,
you reach out to Auntie
ready.
Nene. Eric
Okay.
Berka says he's going to reach out to you. Just keep
Okay.
being a strong girl. I know your destiny is bigger, okay? We're going to
Amen. Thank
build
you
you
so
up.
much.
And I'm so happy that you've been able to open up your heart. We will build you up to the fighter,
Yes.
to the winner that you are.
Amen.
Okay?
Amen.
All right, darling. Love you so
All right,
much.
Auntie. Love you
And
more and wish you a happy weekend and to everyone a blessed weekend.
all right. Thank you so much, darling. God bless you. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying on, for joining the broadcast today, for staying on. This is Spotlight with Gwendy. It's a 1 hour conversation. We're way over 1 hour. I'm sorry about that, but we just really had to soak in this conversation with Bertila Kibong, who was vulnerable today. She opened up her heart, a troubled childhood, a traumatized childhood, lost her mom so early in her life, went through a difficult, working experience. She went to work for somebody, all in the hopes of getting to school, being sent to school. That never happened. She has gone past that today. She's a young actress. She's starting out as a comedian, and she's doing well for herself. She also has a restaurant right there. I'm just going to put the picture on the screen. So if you see that flyer anywhere, just go out there, check out on her. Her name is Bertila Kibong on all social media. That is the name of her restaurant. She's working hard to change her story, but she's still traumatized inside. She hurt. You heard her cry so many times. And I'm so grateful that I came across her. Her story touched me. It moved me. It questioned me. It just made me look again at my neighbors, at my life. Am I doing right? Am I treating other people right? You never can tell. Your treatment of somebody can push them to an early grave. You don't want to be the cause of somebody's death. No, you don't want to be the cause of somebody's depression. So, as she said, let us all love ourselves. Let's love one another. Okay? Love is the greatest of all. If you're not going to be able to take care of somebody's child, don't. Charisma Patrick, thank you for tuning in. Oh, Bertila said so many good things about you. I've watched your programs. I just love your personality. I've heard so many good things about you. We should probably bring you on the show. Let me know if you'd like to come on the show so we can talk about all what you do. And I just want to thank all of you for tuning in. Please share this video with as many people as possible. This is the story of a young lady who has moved from grass to glory. I don't want to say to grace because she's moving in glory. She's found God. She's found the light thanks to Charisma Patrick, who is a young journalist, presenter, media personality. And she is really starting to embrace a different side of her life. If you enjoyed the program, please let us know in the comment section. Go to our YouTube page, Gwendy Media TV, and drop a comment on what you thought about this edition, how you felt about Bettila's story, and just let us know what you think. You're welcome, darling. What you thought about the show. And if you are not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. We're always here every single Saturday with different stories that are inspiring and impactful to the community. All right, that's all we had for today. Remember that you can be the change that you seek. And every single day, just strive as much as possible to do your best, be your best, and give your best. All right. God bless you. I'll see you next Saturday with the same love and pleasure. Bye bye.